Maple Leafs and a record-setting night for Jack Campbell. Chris, we talk so much and you hear his teammates talk so much about Jack Campbell, the goalie, as well as Jack Campbell, the person. He was emotional after this win. His teammates raved about him. Is this just the guy that everyone seems to want to succeed?
Yeah, and this was the first time, I would say, Sean, that we've started to see what this means to him. And obviously, he is upbeat in his interviews and deflects a lot of the questions, the praise his way to his teammates. But I thought, especially in the moment you guys shared in the post-game interview, we got a window into what a struggle, at times his career's been. He was a first-round draft pick 10, 12 years ago. This was supposed to happen for him, but 10, 12 years ago, at least in his mind, right? And it's taken him a journey to get to this point. And clearly he's grabbed the reins here of the Leafs' #1 job. And, you could feel the emotion in the building tonight, even without the fans. And that was sort of a special moment. I think this is a bit of a springboard for this Leafs team for the reason you're saying there, is that he's just beloved by his teammates and he's having a lot of personal success, and everybody's sharing in that.
Now, you mentioned it being an emotional game. It is the Leafs and the Habs and potentially a first-round playoff preview. You see Corey Perry picking up 2 goals, him and Austin Matthews sharing a few physical contacts. Did this just ratchet up what could be that first-round matchup?
Yeah, we should get excited for the final few weeks of the season, because Montreal and Toronto play each other 5 more times in these next few weeks, and potentially then, up to 7 more times in the first round of the playoffs, potentially. And if not in the first, maybe the second round. So, we have a lot of games between these teams. I thought this was a more physical game than we've seen a lot of the Leafs games of late. Montreal was full value. They had a strong push in the second period, had a chance to tie it in the final minutes. This was a very close hockey game, very physical and intense, and I would imagine some of that will brew up now. And so this is what we were expecting with completely interdivisional play, and with the playoffs getting close, we're starting to feel it and see it.
Now, there was some cause for concern before the game, if the game would even happen, when it was announced that William Nylander potentially had a COVID exposure to somebody who could have been potentially positive. Just fill us in on the latest on that situation.
It's going to be an ongoing situation now. I mean, essentially, he's in quarantine. He's continuing to be tested. Obviously, depending on whether he ever tests positive for the COVID-19 virus or not, will impact how long he's there, when we might see him practicing and ultimately playing again. And so this will roll out day by day at this point. But I think it's important to recognize here that he didn't break any protocols. He was around someone he was allowed to be around, essentially, that may have contracted the virus, may have passed it on to him. He opened up to the Leafs and told them about this as soon as he possibly could, and it doesn't sound as though he put his teammates in any risk as the way things unfolded. So, we'll just have to see what comes in the days here for William Nylander, but this sounds like they got to it as early as they possibly could.
Well, Chris, it was a massive night for Jack Campbell.